Okay guys, so this is going to be the cell anatomy and physiology quick and dirty version. We'll be going over these more in detail in class. Okay, so the first slide we have a cross-section of an animal cell, and we're going to be talking first about the cell membrane. That's up at the top on the left by the star. And the cell membrane is a semi-permeable membrane. Semi-permeable means that it'll let some things pass through, but not really big things. But it'll let little things pass through in and out. So the cell membrane, it keeps things in and keeps things out. But it's made up of a phospholipid bilayer. So if you see the four little dots and the four lines at the top, that's going to be our phospholipid bilayer. So the two blue dots at the top and two blue dots at the bottom, those are the perimeter of the membrane, okay? Those are the hydrophilic heads. They like water, so they're going to be on the sides with the water. They'll be the sides facing in the cell and the side facing out of the cell. The little tail things are the hydrophobic tails, and they don't like water. Phobic, don't like. So they do not like water. The next thing that we'll be talking about is the lysosome, okay? Lysosome is the digestive system of the cell. It breaks down and digests worn out or damaged parts of the cell. This also holds enzymes, and the lysosome is built in the Golgi apparatus, which we'll be talking about in a few. The next thing we have is the nucleus. Now, I know most of you have heard of this. This is the center of the cell. This would be like your town hall, okay? This is where everything is controlled. These are found in eukaryotic cells. Eukaryotic cells means they have a nucleus. Prokaryotic cells mean they don't have a nucleus. So this is a eukaryotic cell. Again, it's like the town hall or the mission control. The nucleus controls eating, movement, and reproduction of a cell. So the next thing we have is the cytoplasm. Now the cytoplasm is all this gray goop on the inside of the cell. It's like a gel-like substance, and that pretty much just helps the cell keep its form and its structure. The next thing we have is the rough endoplasmic reticulum, or rough ER. Okay, this area is what produces secretory proteins. Some are used up in the cell and some are sent out. But what I mean by secretory proteins, I'll give you an example. In leukocytes, which are white blood cells, the rough endoplasmic reticulum produces antibodies, which are proteins. Okay, so onto the smooth endoplasmic reticulum. This is where, this is another storage area in the cell. It's important for the creation and storage of steroids, and it's also important for carbohydrate and lipid synthesis. So the next thing we'll talk about is ribosomes. Now ribosomes are the protein builders, and we'll talk a lot more about ribosomes when we're talking about DNA and genetics. But for this purpose, we're just going to say that ribosomes, they build proteins and they hook amino acids together, which are proteins, to make long chains that are known as polypeptide chains. You may hear that later on in this class or in an organic chemistry class in college. So another important part of the cell you might hear about is the Golgi apparatus, or the Golgi body. This takes simple molecules and forms new, more complex molecules in the cell. A really big, important part of the cell you'll hear about is the mitochondria, or mitochondrion. Okay, these are powerhouses. They are in charge of digesting nutrients, and from that those nutrients they create energy. This is what runs the cell. This is what gives the cell energy. The process of turning nutrients into energy is called cell respiration. Okay, another thing you'll hear about is vacuoles. These are in both animal and plant cells. You may hear about them more in plant cells just because they're larger in plant cells. They store food and nutrients. When you see a plant that's wilted, its vacuoles are empty. When you see a plant that's healthy and upright, its vacuoles are healthy and full. Lastly, we'll be talking about the nucleolus. This basically looks like a nucleus within a nucleus, and it's made of RNA and protein. Okay, so we've pretty much covered of our anatomy and physiology of the cell. So if you want a more complete version, we'll be talking about it more in class, or you can refer to your textbook. Hope you enjoy this. Have a great day.